beautiful people. Today, I would like to talk about facing shame when you have been a bad friend. And I have been a bad friend. The context of all of that is that on the weekend, it is Tuesday, today where I am. On the weekend, a friend who is not a close friend, they are possibly a mentee, and they do have some worries that they're going through in their lives. They called me on the weekend as well as several days last week, and then they called again yesterday, which was my Monday. And yesterday is when I wasn't a very good friend, nor was I a good mentor, nor was I a good Christian. What happened was, after the umpteenth phone call from them, I say to them, look, you have been calling for us to pray together about a tricky little situation that they're in. And I have to just clarify again that this person has, some concerns in their lives. So they're not like a typical friend. Like I said, they're more like a mentee. Anyway, they rang last week and rang on the weekend and rang me again yesterday. And I was just thinking, oh my goodness, I am so tired. And I normally, by the grace of God, quite enjoy praying with friends. And I do. I genuinely do. However, this friend had called and called and called, using their direct number and then at times using a private number. Yes, they are a little bit unwell. I have to say that and acknowledge that. So by the time they rang me again yesterday, and we had spoken on the weekend already, like I said, so we had spoken on the weekend, that was on Saturday, and then they rang again yesterday about the same issue that, let's pray about the same issue, which we have been praying about many a time before. And I was just so overwhelmed with the phone calls. And I know even on the weekend, because they had spoken to me and called me several times throughout the week, last week. And then when we spoke on Saturday, I actually took my time to speak with them for a while. So we spoke for a while. And again, we're still talking about the same issue. And I was repeating how we needed to wait on God, trust God, and trust His answer even, because they were asking for a particular outcome from the praying that we've been doing. And I say to them, look, it's been a lot of phone calls, and the good thing about going to God is that He does not get tired, which is why we all should go there, mostly, rather than going to people. And especially if we are in a position where we feel like we actually need to be speaking to somebody over and over and over again about the same issue. So anyway, I said, hey, like we spoke about on the weekend, I was just saying how it's very important that we speak to God, we go directly to Him. And then I went on and said, look, the thing is, when we speak to God, He is a good God. He's gracious, He's kind, He's loving, He's patient, He's long-suffering, which I wasn't yesterday. He's long-suffering. And I'm saying that, like lightly, but really, I am pretty ashamed about that. And it's definitely something that I'll need to rectify. So with this mentee / friend, I said, hey, so this is why, we encourage to speak to God, which is true. You know, God has the biggest and widest shoulders, right? We can go to him anytime, any day, 24/7. He is not busy. He doesn't not get weary. He doesn't get tired. He doesn't get bored with our stories or versions of it. He doesn't get tired with us. He is there to listen. Thanks be to God that he does. So I was redirecting this friend to God. But what I am acknowledging, and even yesterday I said to my husband, well, I went to speak to my husband about it. We didn't actually get to the story, but I wanted to share with him how I had spoken to this dear friend and how I had said to them, hey, maybe just call less. Maybe call me less. Call me less, because I am getting a bit overwhelmed and we're praying about the same thing. And I believe you're not being patient with God. We ask, but we then actually have to be in a position to listen. We can't just dictate to God and say, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, deliver it this way or else. So anyway, it wasn't super polite. I mean, I was as diplomatic as I can in saying, hey, you've been calling me a lot. I'm feeling quite overwhelmed. I think you should call less. I think you should wait on God. I think you should talk to him more directly. And I think you should be patient and wait for an answer. And not expect an answer, not dictate an answer, but actually just graciously wait on God. But was I gracious? Diplomatic, yes. Gracious, I'm not sure. So yeah, there's quite a bit of guilt and shame in that. Look, I do believe that I needed to set some boundaries with this friend, but I feel like what I did say to them, it's something that if it was going to be put on a screen and everybody could hear how I said it to them and it was on loudspeaker, I would be incredibly, not only embarrassed, but very much ashamed of myself. So that very feeling tells me that I did not handle it very, very well. Now, with this particular mentee / friend, more like an acquaintance really, what I ought to do is possibly allow a bit of time. I've already repented to God this morning, even yesterday. But this morning I went for a walk and I said to God, oh Lord, you are patient and kind, and I don't think I was patient and kind with this friend. And for some reason, I don't know why I felt like I needed to actually tell them, because I could have just maybe not picked up the phone call, because at the time I was actually dealing with my own stuff and I just thought, oh my goodness, I do not have time, no energy for this. I am going to tell this person that you are calling me too much. We've prayed, and if we're going to pray about this same thing one more time, I don't think I can actually do it. I don't think I'm interested. I don't think I want to do it. But yeah, it's the way that it was done that I woke up this morning and I thought, not brilliant. So yeah, having to face that shame. But like I say, I think I'll give it time, because yes, the boundary needed to be set. Was it done graciously? Possibly not. So I'll give it time. And what I might do is just give it enough time off the time that I say to them, how about you wait for, say, a week or so? How about you wait a couple of weeks for this thing that you're waiting on, that they're praying for a person, that they want this person to respond a particular way. And I've just said, how about we give it time and let's see what happens. Let's see what God does, right? So I have been thinking on my walk this morning, maybe I'll just give it a week or two. And if they don't call me in between, then and now, and then when I speak to them, I'll say, hey, when we spoke last time, I feel like I was fairly rude to you. That wasn't my intention. I wanted to set a boundary. I was feeling quite overwhelmed on the day, and the way I said it to you about not calling me was actually pretty rude and insensitive and quite brash, and that's not my intention. I would like you to call me. So then set the boundary in a new sort of way. Feel free to call me. However, please know that not always can I answer the call. And when you do call me, if I don't answer the call, please allow me for me to get back to you when I can and as I can. And then maybe to actually set a healthy boundary, because again, this person is unwell. You know, they have some things going on in their lives, you know, regarding mental health and all of that. So I do acknowledge where they're coming from, and that my communication is probably not always clear to them as much as I'm thinking I'm being clear. I find that, you know, with this individual, you have to say it and then, you know, repeat saying the thing that you're saying. So there's that. But I believe I can then say, hey, so I will call you in a couple of weeks' time after that initial conversation, or you also feel free to call me, whoever does it first, in a couple of weeks' time. And how about we actually just speak fortnightly? If you have something to talk to me about, how about we talk fortnightly? So, you know, set a bit of a pace for them and trust that will sit well with them, and trust that they would follow on from that. And even just thinking about it now as I'm reflecting on it, maybe I don't need to leave it for 2 weeks. Maybe that will be too long. So maybe I need to get back in there at some point, say in the next week or so, and just say, hey, how are you going? I just wanted to actually check in on, you know, what we spoke about, what we prayed about, and to also let you know that, you know, I behaved badly the last time we spoke. So that has been what I have dealt with over the weekend and yesterday. And I am wondering how you deal with such things, you know, when you have not been a great friend and then have to rectify things. Obviously, you still want to be friendly with this person, but just, you know, with new boundaries and new, you know, parameters, I guess, in how you actually interact. And I guess that's really what I wanted to do with this person, but I just did not do that very well. Yes. Let me know what has been your experience in that, and how you have been able maybe to mend a friendship like that when you have behaved badly. And yeah, I would love to hear even some of the outcomes as well, because obviously the intention is not to be a bad friend, and this person sees me as somebody that they can ring when they are in a bit of a pickle and when they need prayer. And what an honor and privilege that is to be able to pray with somebody. So I do not want to be somebody who takes that for granted. I don't. And it's such a huge responsibility and massive privilege. So I can only thank God for that she sees something in me that is welcoming of her ringing me and asking for us to pray together. And what a beautiful thing to pray together, right? It's a beautiful thing. So yeah, let me know your experiences and your thoughts. And if you've gone through something like that, please comment down below and share some of those experiences. I really would love to know. Otherwise, that's what I wanted to share in this video, and I'll catch you in my next video. You take care and God bless. Bye.